Hello everyone! Welcome to Jojo's PersonaliTV. I'm your host Josiah.
And I'm your co-host Jacayla.
And our mission at Jojo's PersonaliTV is to provide opportunities for youth and their parents to explore careers and set achievable goals.
And today we are here with the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Mrs. Kim Coles. Yay!
Hello, ladies. It is my true delight and honor to be with you today.
Thank you so much. We are so happy to have you. Well, being that you're a celebrity, you are also a comedian, actress, and an author. And also, you are a speaker. Did you become all these things at once?
Oh no. Everything is an unfolding. So thank you. That's a great question. Everything is an unfolding for me in my career. And I think for most people, it's a layering of things, one on top of the other, on top of the other. So I started out as a stand-up comedian. And then I auditioned for a show that would require me to be both a comedian and an actress. And that show was called In Living Color on Fox. And so we did a lot of a lot of sketches. And so I could use my comedy and use my acting skills. And then a few years later, I did a show called Living Single, which required me to keep my comedy skills, but also really move more into the acting. And then a few years later, I started taking my comedy and combining it with inspirational messages. And so I took that out as a speaker. So when I go and speak, I'm still being a comedian. I'm still acting on stage, but it's more coming from my heart. I shouldn't say acting, I would say maybe performing. And I'm speaking from the heart and from my own lessons and journey in life. And then what was the other one that was on my list of things? I've done a lot of things and I've got a lot more things to do. So each one builds upon the next.
So was it hard for you going through the auditions and everything?
Well, I still audition, and it's not an easy thing to do. I got to be honest with you. You know, it's a very unnatural thing. So they give you some lines on a script and a few pages of script, and it's a piece of the script. It's not even the whole script, and you have to kind of memorize those and act them out in a room of strangers. And sometimes it's one person and a camera, and sometimes it's a whole table of 5-10 executives. And you've got about 3 to 5 minutes to convince them that they should hire you for a job that may last as long as a week or a day or maybe 5 years. So it is, I would say we could use the word difficult, ladies, but I would actually say there's just sort of the nature of what you have to do to earn certain jobs in the business. Some jobs I don't have to audition for, but lots of them I do. And it really is an unnatural thing. And then when you're done, they say, thank you very much for coming in. And you walk and you get in your car and you have no idea how you did. Even if you think you did well, doesn't mean you got the job. I've actually done horribly, like, oh my goodness, I should quit the business. Horrible. And then I got the job. So it's very interesting how it works. It's just sort of it's just the system, and you got to do what you got to do and try your best, and so yeah, that's the answer. I give long answers, girls. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Did you have to go to college to do all these things?
Well, what's interesting is I did go to college, but in all honesty, I dropped out 4 times. I went to 4 different colleges because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And what's interesting, and I'm not advocating dropping out of school, but when I dropped out of school is when I sort of started dropping into wanting to be in show business. And the first thing I did was modeling. I was a part-time model in Manhattan. That's what we call it, Manhattan. And what's interesting is that the modeling kind of led to the stand-up. Okay, you guys want to hear a good story? Okay, so one time I was in a fashion show, and because I'm older than you, this was before cell phones. Can you believe that there was a time before cell phones? So the show was running late, and the person who was supposed to be the commentator for the show was late, but we didn't know where she was because nobody had a cell phone. We didn't even know what it was. That's how long ago it was, 1893. And so the promoter for the event was like, well, Kim Coles, you're kind of funny. Why don't you get up and entertain the audience until it's time for the show? And I was like, oh, okay. And so he let me put on one of the outfits from the fashion show, and I went out and just told jokes. And like the people really loved it. And by that time, the commentator, promoter person, whatever came in, and she got dressed and she went and did the show. And people were like, bring Kim Coles back. She's better than the fashion show. And that was actually the first day that I decided, I think I should be doing something here. So I'm not even sure I answered your question. What was your question?
I forgot my questions.
You forgot your question.
What was it?
I go off on these tangents, but I think it had to do with, did I go to college? Did I go to college?
Yeah.
So the answer to the question is, college was not what prepared me for this. What prepared me for this was just jumping in and doing it. And along the way, I did take a few acting classes here or there. I did take a few comedy classes here or there. But the truth is, the thing that prepared me for it was just to do it, was just to, against all fear, against all odds, against people saying, what are you doing? I just jumped in and did it. So it was like what was inside of me to do. And then along the way, I learned the things I needed to learn. There are things that you will learn. I'm trying to get out of this light. You guys see this crazy light? Oh! Oh! Okay. So to be truthful, the school that I went to was the school of working. And as I worked, I got the knowledge that I needed to get.
So what college did you go to?
Okay. I went to I went to Brooklyn College, then North Carolina Central University, then City College, and then FIT. So Brooklyn College, I didn't know what to study. North Carolina Central University, I think I was going to study sociology, but no. City College, I started studying anthropology, and FIT is a fashion school. I thought that I was going to become a fashion buyer and merchandiser, and I was working in the fashion business in New York as an assistant buyer, and I thought that, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do fashion. And then entertainment was calling my name, and so I answered.
So this shows, guys, that you cannot have a plan and still end up being something good.
Oh, you're good. It's true. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this. I didn't have a plan, but I had a dream. And that dream, as it began to unfold more and more and more, my plan became clear, or my journey became clear. So I just had this crazy dream and this thing that was inside my heart. And I took the steps. I took the next step in front of me, and the next step in front of me, and the next step in front of me. And because it was really in alignment with what my purpose and passion and dream was, all of those steps began to become easier and easier. And although it was hard work, it was easier than me trying to study something and I didn't know what I wanted to study. This is what I wanted to do. And so you're very wise to have picked up on that. Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Both of you.
So we've done a lot of research about you and your journey, living single, and we love the woo 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 woo. Could you say it for us?
I will. Woo 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 woo. Would you like to know where that comes from?
Yeah.
Okay. So my mother used to say woo 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 to me and my baby brother when words would fail her. So if you fell down and hurt yourself, she'd go, oh, woo woo woo. Or the first time I broke up with my first little boyfriend, like in 3rd grade, oh, woo woo woo, Kimmy. And so woo 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 came to mean, I see you, I'm so sorry, it's going to be okay. Oh, I got your back, don't worry. And so one day when I was on the set of Living Single, I just ad-libbed, oh, woo, 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 Khadijah. And the producers were like, what was that? Like, I don't know. It's just this thing my mother used to say to me. They're like, oh, that's going to be in the show from now on. And it was in the show from now on. And so to this day, people come up to me and go, woo, 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 woo. It just means I love you. In essence, it means I love you.
Do you hang out with celebrities or just hang out with people that are not celebrities?
I hang out with people. Now, some of them are entertainers for a living, and some of them are not. I would say that I have a great deal of friends that are not even in show business at all, and I like that. I think that makes me a more well-rounded person to be around people who do all kinds of things. So I don't have a lot of quote-unquote celebrity friends. I just have friends, and some of them do this for a living, and some of them do that for a living.
So who or what inspired you to pursue this career?
You know, ladies, I grew up watching television. I'm a child of TV. And a child of some very, very funny, goofy ladies on TV. Their names are Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball, and there's many, many others. But by the time Whoopi Goldberg came around, somebody took me to see her show. She had a Broadway show that was her big introduction to the business. And I remember sitting in the audience like this, going like, oh my goodness. Seeing her made it real for me, because there was a black lady on stage being witty and funny and real, and she was acting and she was doing all these crazy things. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And so it was television plus Whoopi Goldberg. That was my main inspiration.
So have you met Whoopi Goldberg today and told her?
I did meet Whoopi Goldberg, and I don't get to tell the story that often, but okay, so here's the story. So we had the same orthodontist, and that's such a Hollywood thing to have. Like, people have the same doctors or lawyers or dentists, And so the dentist said to me, because he knew how much I loved her, he said, Whoopi comes here. Like, Whoopi Goldberg comes here? Oh my goodness. He says, I'll tell you what, next time she's going to be here, I'll book an appointment for you, and then you could just meet her. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. So we happened to be there at the same time, and he took me into the office and said, Whoopi's about to leave. She's in the hallway. I was like, oh, I started getting so excited. And so I went out into the hallway, and I was like, hi, Whoopi, how are you? I couldn't breathe. I stopped breathing. It's so nice to meet you. I'm such a big fan of yours, and it's because of you that I'm doing comedy. And what's interesting is that I'll never forget how kind she was to me, but at the same time, she began to back away. So this is what she's doing. So I'll imitate me, but I'm going to do her, okay? So it was like, nice to meet you. Hi, Whoopi. Hi, nice to meet you. You're my favorite person in the whole wide world. Oh, my God, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, wow, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, my God, Whoopi Goldberg. Hi. Next thing I knew, she was gone. She just disappeared. She just slowly backed away, and she was like, okay, sweetie, nice to meet you too. All right, you keep being funny. All right, you take care now. All right, girl. But she was very pleasant. She was just like, all right, girl, you do your thing, girl. And just like all of a sudden she was gone. Now, what's funny is that I really think that she was being 100% pleasant. Like, it was lovely, but just moving herself out of the situation, because I wasn't really there. Like, when somebody's not there, you can't be there. So years later, I did get to work with her on a game show, and I was over myself, and I was just like, it's so good to see you again. And she's very pleasant and very warm, and I don't think she remembers that, but I keep saying that one day I'm going to see her and tell her that whole story.
How did you get your part on Living Single?
So the way I got my role on Living Single was divine intervention. Oh, there's the light right there. Oh, to tell the truth, I didn't have to audition for that show. I had come off of another show, and I had a little bit of a little buzz in my career. People were like, that Kim Cole, she's kind of funny, she's good. And so I had a meeting at Warner Brothers, which is the name of the production company, and they said, we really like you, and you're really funny, and oh, by the way, what do you think of Queen Latifah? And I was like, oh my goodness, I really like her. Now, I didn't know this. At the same time, they were having the same meetings with her. So like one week they had a meeting with me, and I think the next week they had a meeting with her, or vice versa. And they said, well, you know what, we're thinking about doing a show about women and black women and positivity, and what do you think of Kim Cole? She was like, yeah, I like her, she's funny. And so they put the two of us together, and then hired Yvette Lee Bowser, who was the executive producer, and the show came together from that. So it is I like to call it the sparkling jewel of my career, and it was actually most fun, and the easiest to get because I didn't have to audition for it.
You did really good on the show, by the way.
Thank you. I love the show, and you should know, and I love telling people that we had so much fun, and we loved each other, and we became like family, that whole cast. And I know you're going to ask me if I still keep in contact with them, and the answer is yes. In fact, I just had dinner with Erica, who played Max, and T.C. Carson, who played Kyle Bowser. Kyle Barker.
Barker.
So I wrote a book called Daddy's Girl, and like it's about when my parents separated and my dad moved out the house, and when how me and my dad kept in touch while he was out. So what inspired you to write your book?
I want to tell you what we have in common. There was a point when my parents separated, and my dad and I kept in contact too. And I know how important it is for a father and a daughter to keep a relationship going no matter what's happening with the relationship between mommy and daddy. And so I know about your book, and I know about your journey, and I'm so proud of you sharing that with other little girls and explaining how important it is for us to keep our relationship with our parents and for our parents to keep our relationship with us, especially daddy. So I love my father because even though he and my mother didn't stay together, he made a real effort to make sure that he stayed in a strong relationship with me. And so I absolutely relate to you and relate to your story in that way. So you and I are just alike.
Thank you. So it was like a hard experience and an easy experience writing a book. So and I'm like out telling people about my book. So can you give me a couple tips on how to like tell people about it and stuff like that?
Well, you have a beautiful story, right? You have a beautiful story, and not all little girls have that story. Not all little boys have that story. So make sure you share with people. I want you to hear the story of how this little girl was able to keep a strong, powerful relationship with her father, who she loves, even though mommy and daddy at the time were making some different decisions. That I made sure, and my father made sure, that he kept a strong relationship with me. And so if you just tell people that, like, I just want you to hear my story, and I want you to hear that it's possible, because what you don't know, what you may not know, is that you might be able to inspire other fathers and other daughters who might be going through the same thing. And sometimes the fathers don't know, like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, he needs to know how important it is to keep influencing you, and you need to understand how important it is for him to still be in your life. And so you just tell people that. I want you to hear my story. Would you like to hear the story of that could have been uncomfortable but turned out to be okay? And it's always going to be okay no matter what the outcome is, as long as we all keep our own separate relationships strong. And I think if you tell people that, and I mean, also, look, when I was your age, I wasn't thinking about writing no books. I was busy watching TV and playing with my Easy Bake Oven or whatever we had at the time. Like tell people that I have, something inside of me that needs to come out. And I think more and more and more and more people would be happy to buy and happy to support you because of it.
Thank you for giving me the tips.
You got it.
How do you keep your schedule organized with doing all these things?
The answer is I do not keep my schedule organized very well. Okay, so even as we speak, I'm old school. I write everything down. I have the old school day timer, and I just write everything. Like, the only way I can get through my life is to write everything down. In fact, you want to see, you guys are on my list. 3 p.m., well, I put Tamel. I put your mom's name. But I write everything down. That's the answer. And I mean, I'm still busy, and sometimes I miss appointments, but not if I put it in my book. If I put it in my book, then it stays there for forever.
So for kids that want to be an actress, a stand-up comedian, or an author, what advice would you give them?
My advice would be to do it. And my advice would be to gather up all the information you can and learn as much as you can as you do it. So remember, we were talking before that I said I didn't finish college, but life became my university. And I am a constant student. I'm a student of life. I'm a student of what I do. I'm a student of what I want to do. I'm a student of what I want to do next. And so I would say study the best, like really learn, like, don't just say you want to be famous, because fame means nothing. It's the art of it that really matters. And so I would say study and pay attention and let it be something that's really a passion for you. I would tell people, if you don't have a passion for the arts, if you don't have a passion for show business or the entertainment business, or actually anything, if you don't have a passion for it, don't do it. There's nothing that you can do to yourself that's worse than doing something that you don't have the real heart for it. Because just like you asked me a minute ago, is it hard? Well, there are times when it is difficult. There are things that are difficult. Listen, there's a lot of competition in this business. I mean, I don't look at it as competition, but it's true. I will go up and audition against my friends. Like, you will show up and audition and all your friends will be there like, hey girl. Well, that's kind of tough because you know that you may not be the one to get it. But what keeps me going is that I'm passionate about it, and I feel as if it's my divine gift.
So before we close out this interview, could you please tell us a joke?
Well, here's the thing is I don't really do jokes. I tell stories. I'm a storyteller. So I'm going to tell you a story about the time I met Oprah.
Okay.
It's similar to the time I met Whoopi. So I had a job. I was given a job on the Oprah Winfrey Network as a game show host. And they told us on Friday that Oprah was coming to visit the set on Monday. So they told us on Friday that she was coming on Monday. So I spent the entire weekend getting ready. I wanted to be an empty vessel of joy and light and beauty and wonderfulness for Oprah. I read the Bible. I read all different spiritual texts. I had some holy water. I was throwing the holy water. I was slipping in the holy water. I had some oil. I was burning sage. I was chanting and saying, hello, oh dear Oprah. I was getting myself ready to meet Oprah. Now, they said she was coming to visit us at 1:00 on Monday. So I spent Monday being ready for Oprah, and 12:00 came and I was ready, and 12:30 came and I was ready, and 1:00 came, but she wasn't there, but I was still ready. And then 1:30 came, but she wasn't there, but I was still ready. Then 2, 3, 4, and then I wasn't ready anymore. I was hungry. I was sick of being an empty vessel. I was like hungry. I went off to the side to get me something to eat. Now, we had cut off all the lights just to save energy and everything. And about 4:30, all of a sudden, all of the lights came on. And I looked up and I realized, wait a minute, the lights didn't come on, but oh my goodness, here comes Oprah. Oprah was walking towards me, and Oprah has her own light. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. And so, again, girls, I lost myself. I just was like, I don't know what to say. And all I could say was, yay! And Oprah looked at me like, what? Did she just say yay to me? I mean, what? I don't know what to do. What? I don't, and all of a sudden she figured it out. She looked at me and she went, yay! And I realize now that she met me where I was. She was like, I don't know how to talk to this girl, but if I just say yay back to her, then she'll understand me. And when she did that, that snapped me back into my body. We sat down and we were able to have a conversation. And I have a picture of that moment on my Facebook page right now, and I'll send it to you. It's the moment that she just pulled me over and she said, let's just sit down and talk for a moment. And when I realized she's a human being just like me, I don't have to go like, yay! I could just go, yay, on the inside and have a real conversation. So that's not a joke, but it's a real story of something that happened to me. And I like to turn real opportunities and real stories and real funny things that happen into stories that I share with other people. Yay! How are you going to be a grown woman saying yay to another grown woman? Yay! And I was like worried, she probably thinks I'm a little simple, because that was a simple thing to do, like, ooh, you simple. But she gave me love.
So we'd like to say, yay!
Thank you.
Can I tell you what my favorite thing is about you two? I mean, aside from the fact that you're absolutely adorable, and aside from the fact that you both have epic Afro puffs, let's deal with your Afro puffs. You got 2 of them and you got 1 of them. They're epic. My favorite thing about both of you is that you listen well. And one of the best things that an interviewer must have is the ability to listen. People think that it's all about talking. It's not. It's all about listening. And the fact that there's several times during this interview, you were listening to me and then you went in the flow. So I know you have your cards and questions you're going to ask me, but you went with the flow. And that helps someone in my position feel like, oh, well, this is going to be easy, because there's nothing worse than sitting and like, what are they going to ask me? And I don't know if I don't know if I have an answer. But knowing that you were listening to me and that you were piggybacking your questions to my answers was just stupendous. So that's my favorite thing, other than the puff and how adorable you are.
Thank you.
You're more than
I
welcome.
know what we like about you.
Oh, yes.
Okay, first, we love how beautiful you are.
Oh, thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
And we love how funny and warm and welcoming you are, because we were so nervous to interview.
Yeah. And we were
Was it-
excited at the same time.
Yeah.
You were nervous? Nervous and what?
And excited at the same time.
Oh, I hope I made it easy for you.
It was fun.
Okay, good.
So thank you so much for being on our show today. We love you so much, and thank you once again.
You two are superstars. Yay!
Thank you. So please tell our viewers how they can keep in touch with you.
Why, I'd be happy to. I can be found across all social media platforms as @Kim Coles, except on Facebook, where I'm @Real Kim Coles. So Twitter, Instagram, Snappity-Doo, Snappygram, Snappy-Chat, Instapulse, Pappity-Doo, all the platforms. I am @Kim Coles.
Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day and evening, ladies.
You too.
Thank you.
And woo-woo-woo!
Woo.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be who you wanna be. It's your personality. Be who you wanna be. It's your personality.